I've tapped into radio communications between the Unicom sentries. It sounds like they're about to test a new weapon.
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Machine Robo Series 03 Machine Build Jet Blue. This is their FITOR. I think that this figure looks great. It's not perfect, because none of these are, but I'm really excited for what this company is doing. And the fact that they're making these, and they're all based off of the original designs with upgraded articulation and a simplistic transformation with a little bit added to it, and both modes looking good. We're going to get into looking at this guy. But also, we got this extra special little announcement today, or technically yesterday, that they are making Tank. It's going to be out in the fourth quarter of 2024. I have mine pre-ordered from BBTS, $60, and it looks phenomenal. We'll do a little side-by-side with what Action Toys did and the promo picture later on in this video. But let's get in and take a look at JetBlue. Coming up! Alright, here he is out of the box, and of course here is the box. Shows on one side you get to see the jet, this side the figure, and this side shows you kind of some options. Pretty much everything you need to know is actually on the box. There it is. And this is all the stuff that it comes with. You're going to have these wings pop off and attach. We got some decorative pieces that go there. We've got some canopies, cockpit pieces that go to the back of that. You got hands. You got forearms, which I kind of got the party started with this forearm right here. And then we've got these, they call these extra pieces. And we got his crotch. So I'm going to get all these off the sprues, and we're going to put this guy together. All right, we got everything off the sprue. I went ahead and put one of these little decorative pieces on here. So this piece is going to go on here, which on camera is probably going to look clumsy as heck. So I kind of don't want to be clumsy with it. But there. Yeah, I'm worried about that. That it plugs into there. Got the party started off camera. So I got it lined up there. There we go. So it's got two decorative pieces on first. Then let's go ahead and do this arm. And here's how it works. You have those notches. And there's notches there. You just kind of line the notches up with each other. And that slots in. Did I get that right? No, I did not get that right. Yeah, like that. There we go. So the opening's going to be where the elbow is. If that makes some sense to you. And then you put the bottom on like so. That should all make sense and work. And then you can pop this piece on here. And when you put this on, put it over this. And the little notch, is the camera even picking it up? There's a little notch in the bottom of this, and that is so that you can have the articulation at the lower part, or the upper part of the elbow, but it's going to be facing downward on his arm. And make sure that's pushed on all the way so it's flush, so that it'll reconnect properly. And then you put it on here. That's really, that itself is the most complicated part of this. Then you can pick, I'm going to do closed fists at first. Make sure you get the right fist for the right side. Technically the left fist on the left side, right fist on the right side. You got the fighter going on here. And then what's next? We're going to put these pieces on, and it does show that in plane mode, which will be this way, that these are facing upward. So we snap it on like so. Quick and easy. And fast and easy. Boom. Then we can fold them. Well, we'll mess with that here in a bit. And then we have canopy covers. So we're going to need one for the back of this head. And then we're going to need a canopy cover on the back of this head. Boom, boom. Fast and easy. That's how I like my cars and my builds. Now this here, we don't really have to put this on. I'll show it later. We can put it on and have it as backpack, and we probably will, but we don't need that on there. We have a crotch. So what direction does his crotch go on? There's like two triangles like sideways triangles at the top of his crotch piece. So that's how you know it's at the top. Plug that in and get a zoom in. You can see the two angled triangles at the top there. That's how you know that's the top. And then we have these, they call them optional pieces that you can put on for his skirt here and here. And I think that you get side skirts / 2 sets of side skirts. That's my belief on what these optional pieces are. So I think, do you want to go with the big ones or the small ones? We'll have one big one, one small one. We'll decide what we like better. And then we got the swords that go into his hands. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this guy set up and take a look at him now. All right, here he is all built up. This is the Blue Jet, and he looks really nice. Now, he's not painted very well. There's some paint accents here and here, and he has different color molded plastic. He's very lightweight. There's no die cast. Definitely does not feel like a masterpiece, and it doesn't feel like the old Action Toys one. But he looks really good, and I don't have the Action Toys version of this guy. I think that one might be expensive now, but I'm very impressed with the aesthetic and the look of this. I wish there was die cast in it. I wish there was more paint, but with that aside, it does look the part for a GoBot. And as the only option out there for a GoBot right now for this is a FITOR, then I'm going to just have to be happy with it, you know, and I'm glad somebody's doing this. So that is cool. Articulation, head side to side, up a little bit. It's kind of ball joint there. Shoulder out to here. You got the swivel. You've got an impressive, because of the transformation, and he does use his swords, you got an impressive amount of butterfly with this, and that works. You do have a double jointed elbow, so you can get a lot of really cool kind of sword poses with this, which is actually really awesome. And then we got side to side on the, wow, you got quite a bit going on with that ball joint on that wrist. So you can do quite a bit with this guy. And the sword looks really cool too. It's actually got a hole in it. I bet you can probably tab it in somewhere on him. We'll have to find that out. Anyway, you do have the swivel and you have an ab crunch. So this stuff's already pre-built, and I believe they call it a, I don't even think it's a manufacturing cost thing. There it goes to call it a model, but we'll talk about that here in a second. And then it goes back that far, out that far, and then the swivel, and only a 90 at the knee, which is pretty much all I would need. And then really just the toe rotates, but you can get a cool kind of pose. Kind of pretty much whatever you want out of this guy. It's pretty poseable, and I'm a little impressed, well, very impressed, with the posability of this guy for the price point and the feel of him. It's pretty impressive. One more thing about this hip skirt is that the bigger one, you can actually tab the sword into it. So that's kind of cool. I guess that's why they give you these options. And options are good. All that one today. Now we also have another head option here, which I can't tell much of a difference other than it looks like he's got big old glasses on. And the shape of the head's a little bit different. Maybe you call this the toy version, toy head. And this is not a head. What this is it's for the alt mode, and I guess we can go ahead and put this on right now. And this is going to tab into here, and then you can just put it theoretically, well, oh, you spin it or something? Theoretically, it's supposed to go on his back, I thought. Am I not doing it right? Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, so it can just rest on his back, which I don't really like, but I probably will just leave it like that just because. And he does have these heel spurs, which we'll see here in a little bit, and just all wide open at the bottom. And what other option do we have? Well, that's pretty much it for options. We do have splayed hands. If you want a splayed hand, you can have a splayed hand look like this. I don't know, kind of like he's coming at you to slash you, and he's got his hand out. I'm about to slash you, or something like that, but I think I like the sword so much, I'll just leave the other hands in. Alright, Nick comparison time. I kind of like the way he looks with all this white. I do love chrome in the original vintage line, but the white on him does look cool. I would have I kind of think the white on the wings look cheap, but the white on everything else feels cartoony to me. But there it is as a comparison. Way bigger. I don't have the Action Toys one to compare to it. And even if I put a picture up, I don't 100% know size and scale, so it's really not going to be an accurate reflection. Here he is compared to the other two figures in this line so far. So we've gotten Psykill, we've gotten Rod Drill, and then we've got this one here, the Jet Blue with FITOR. Here's the thing. It just now dawned on me, like, all they're doing are the bad guys so far. And if you really think about it back in the day, or from what I've heard in Japan, good guys sell the best. And this company's going all out the gate, trying to do the bad guys first. But then again, if you look at Machine Robo, I think Bike Robo was actually a good guy. So none of this stuff really makes sense to us from a GoBot standpoint. And I didn't watch the cartoon or the media associated with that, so I don't know all the details of it. But from my vantage point, they're putting out all the bad guys first. But they look really good so far, even though they're kind of lightweight, relatively cheap feeling. They look good. And just trying to show a variety of stuff, mixing it in. This isn't everything for modern GoBots, but I want to show this is the Hasbro Crasher that is now a Ross exclusive, formerly a Walmart exclusive. And then the three we already saw. And then these two are from the Action Toys ones that were done a few years ago. Now these Action Toys ones have die cast, a little bit more paint apps, and are a little bit more premium. But the aesthetic of them, I like the aesthetic of what's going on over here. So we got a cheaper feeling toy versus a better built filling toy, a more simplified transformation. I like this better. Even though I have these, I'm going to be replacing them with these, even though they do feel a little cheaper, because they're going to look a little bit better. And here he is compared to a Masterpiece Optimus Prime. I guess I forgot this, so plugging it in right now. And yeah, it's a short one there. He's like a mini-bot. A mini-bot. There's his scale. And in case you're wondering, yes, I did order my tank on BBTS. I don't even know what they call the guy, but I placed my order for it. It came in an email or something. I was like, wow, that is so cool, because I'm reviewing that today. Side by side, I like the aesthetic of where this company is going with it, and with that, the MEGAHOUSE design is what I like a little bit more. So you can see them side by side, and if you want to secure a pre-order and support this company, I mean, I get no kickbacks from it, other than the fact I get a product that I want. Let's transform this guy. His instructions are 4 steps. I mean, I love this. It's basic. It's how it should be. Let's pop these out. Okay, that's probably the hardest part. We're going to fold this up. Now, there we go. Let's fold it up. I do notice that these can go in and out a little bit, depending on how you want to do all that. You can fold this up and then over. That popped off the little hinge there. Pop it back on. Okay. Then we're going to lift this up. Come on. This little tab lifts up, and we could probably do both at the same time. I don't really see why not. And then slide these up to here. Now, shouldn't this fit in there? Yeah, that fits in there. Fine, and then this will close once it's up. So push the little extra accessory side piece in. Now I don't really see that they tab together, and then we can just leave that like so, and then fold the wings out, and then put these up however you want. And we have him in his alt mode. Just do a few adjustments to it if you would like, but that's pretty much his alt mode, and it's pretty much exactly what you'd expect. Now, I don't know how much that was on camera. Simple transformation. But we can tab these into the slots here. The 10 seconds I looked at the instructions is all I needed to find out everything about this guy. But you can tab those in. Probably looks better the other way. Oh well. That way. Tab it in. And there he is. And he can have his swords in there too. So that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. And let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. Here he is in his alt mode. And his alt mode looks exactly like you'd expect for this figure. And if you're wondering, yes, you could just have him like that if you wanted to. But really, for the alt mode, I do think this extra attachment piece makes the alt mode so much better. Really, you really almost need it. And okay, I'm okay with having him having a little bit of a backpack now. And the arm's just dangling out there. I feel like there's really, I mean, you can pull these out a bit more, but a little bit more, it seems like. But it does feel like they're kind of off-centered a little bit. But that's kind of my biggest complaint. There's no wheels or anything. And it's just, well, it's a jet. Jet doesn't roll unless it takes off. And of course, it's in the GoBots or the Machine Robo series, so it just probably jumps in the air and transforms. It doesn't have to take off. But really kind of cool looking paint app here. That's it. I mean, really, that's the only visible paint app in the whole alt mode is what's on the canopy. So let's go ahead and bring in a comparison for this guy. Here this is in comparison to the original vintage one, and this is when I realized that my vintage ones are not the greatest condition. There's just paint chips and scratches to the kind of messed up on the chrome. But yeah, it's kind of a cool update. It's a lot of fun. I think it works. It gets the job done. It captures the character in both modes, and the exact same transformation for the most part. Just, I love it. This is exactly what I want out of GoBots. I wish it was die-cast and more paint. Those are the only two things I would like more on it. But this is what we're getting. Keeping the price point down. $55. The next one's $60. Not bad. Not bad. And it really does look right. I've been using my Masterpiece Hot Rod as my measuring stick for everything these days. And yeah. It's kind of how it looks as a GoBot. True Masterpiece would be way bigger, in my opinion. But I'll take what I can get. This is my look at the JetBlue machine build from MEGAHOUSE. This is a very good looking figure. I feel like it captures the character, the FITOR, very well. And the transformation is simple. The look is right in both modes. It's got great articulation. And every joint is solid. It works really well. I don't really have any serious issues with this guy. A couple little extra options. $55 price point. Does feel a little hefty, but you also have to take into account that this is a huge risk this company's taken, even making GoBots or Machine Robo. But it does feel lightweight. There's not very much paint with it, but there's really no other option for GoBots. And this is giving it the way I've always wanted it. I wanted it to feel like an improved version of the vintage. And that's exactly what this is. Not like the Action Toys, which was a whole kind of a crazy stylized reimagining of things and an over complex transformation for everything. Keeps it simple, keeps it looking good. They're giving me what I want. Would I rather have them bigger in Masterpiece scale? Yes. Would they cost more? Yes. Would that make it less successful? Yes. But also, they're making the tank, and I'm supporting every one of these going forward. I've pre-ordered the tank. It is $60. It does look amazing. It looks so much like the iconic tank from back in the day. But let me know what you think about this. Are you in on any of these? Have you gotten any of these? Like, subscribe. Fitor Hanger out.
Yeah, it'll be a real blowout, especially for you GoBots. My. The great Leader One can't even stand up anymore. You're dreaming, Turbo.
So are you.
Now they've all escaped. They're headed toward Earth.
Escape, Fighter. And they're sure in a hurry.
Come on, Fighter! There's not a moment to lose! Look, come to an intent. The fools! We'll follow them into hyperspace!